Hello guys, today I have read one really interesting article by the Ukrainian Armed Forces Communication Center in which they rate complex and distant targets that we have managed to destroy inside the Russian Federation. I think it's important to look at these records broken by Ukrainian drones, Ukrainian-made missiles in the context when we are still not allowed to fight to the fullest and defend ourselves with just one hand, but we do it great. And I hope sometime soon we will have this permission to neutralize evil military targets wherever we want in Russia. And let me tell you about these beautiful records that we have broken with our drones and missiles and what they actually mean for the course of this war. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. So today, I've read an article that made me feel proud once again. It was prepared by the Communication Center of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and they have decided to collect top 5 most important, complicated, and distant military targets that Ukrainian drones, Ukrainian-made missiles managed to destroy in this 6 months. Not many, but I can tell you honestly, since the start of 2024, we can vividly see that Ukrainian strategy has changed and it became more effective than it was even in 2022 and 2023. First of all, we are really good at destroying, neutralizing the oil refineries and paralyzing the industry in general. By the way, let me know, would you like to have a separate video on the problems, serious problems that Russia now has with this industry, taking into account that it cannot repair the destroyed refineries. And this is beautiful. This is another reminder how sanctions actually work. But the majority of the targets listed as this most distant and most complex for neutralizing, we see military objects. And I was actually proud to understand that with these limitations, very unnecessary limitations, when we cannot use the missiles provided by our allies further than like 80, 100 kilometers, maybe sometimes 300 kilometers, but only close to Kharkiv region and so on. I don't understand that. But even with that, at the very start of 2024, we managed to neutralize objects like 900 kilometers away, 1,000 kilometers away. And it was always a great surprise for Russia because Russia does not have normal air defense. And some of their serious destructions, they are often caused by their own air defense. Well, they did not plan that the war will return back to Russia. Now we see that many of their regions, actually in Krasnodar, Belgorod, Rostov, Voronezh, they have already become a war zone. And Russians do not have enough of air defense. They typically collect all of it close to the front lines in the Crimea, because Crimea has become very vulnerable on its way back home to Ukraine, and you see that. And of course, traditionally, they protect Moscow and St. Petersburg, but they lack it all over the country. Remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is the easiest way to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine, help us spread more information about Ukrainian victories, and watch more of Russian military objects destroyed. And that's important because right now, Russia is a threat to all the democratic world. So I remember how we targeted St. Petersburg oil refineries, and it was very symbolic because St. Petersburg is Putin's city. He worked there for decades. He brought lots of his criminal friends together to Moscow. So anyway, they are mafia, and you know, mafia is quite often connected to the location it comes from. So for Putin, it was St. Petersburg. And it's like 900 kilometers away from the border. But what is the greatest, what is number one target that we've managed to destroy was a huge radar, a very expensive and complicated radar. Many of our allies were actually worried when we did that, because this radar is also used to monitor nuclear weapons. And they were afraid it's an escalation. But oh my God, all of the Ukraine is targeted by evil Russians for 2.5 years already. And the war started back in 2014 with lots of people leaving their homes, lots of people being prisoners of war for 10 years and more. And we still consider what is okay of military objects in Russia and what is not okay. So anyway, we've reached that radar in Orsk, and tell me if this city reminds you of orcs, because it does for me. But we've targeted a radar in Orsk that is, attention, 1,800 kilometers away. I think it's close to 1,500 miles. Please help me in comments below, those who are really good with changing kilometers to miles. I should train that, I know. But anyway, 1,800 kilometers away from Ukraine with a kamikaze drone. So imagine this drone traveled the distance like of 2 countries to reach this evil radar. And everyone was worried in Russia, because come on, this demonstrates how vulnerable they are. They don't have any control of their air. And also, unfortunately, our allies. And I do hope that sometime soon this attitude will change, because more and more leaders see that Putin is a criminal. And unlike Orban, and I'm actually frustrated at his trip to Moscow and these photos of him and Putin, and I do hope there will be some reaction to that. But the majority of sane people understand that Putin, his criminal gang, similar regimes, North Korea, Iran, and China in disguise, they are dangerous. And we have to be strong, because that's the only language, the language of force that they understand. And when Ukraine is allowed to target inside the Russian Federation, believe me, we will definitely reach juicy targets. I hope it's okay, because that's what some people in comments advised me to say whenever I want to describe something super important. So I hope there will be more and more targets. First of all, because Ukrainians are learning, we are developing more and more of our cool drones and missiles like Neptune. They can be modified and they can travel really far away, especially if you are that motivated as all of us Ukrainians are. And also, just recently, Tambov, my vlog yesterday was about the explosive powder factory, and it is far away from Ukraine. So to sum it all up, we may say that even with limited resources, Ukrainian drones and Ukrainian missiles are capable of targeting really distant military objects inside Russia. So far, the record is 1,800 kilometers away, with lots of similar targets approximately on that very distance. We hope that sometime soon our allies will lift the ban and we will be allowed to neutralize more objects that we know about and that are used to shell Ukraine, to destroy our infrastructure and people, and this will be very okay. I do remember how at the start of our new strategy back at the beginning of 2024, when we only began destroying Russian oil refineries, there was panic, including in the US, and some politicians were sent to Ukraine, and even the head of Pentagon and Sullivan were saying like, don't you do that. But sorry guys, we have to protect ourselves. We have a plan to survive. I know many are afraid of Russia losing, like Ukraine not losing, Russia not losing, but such things are impossible. In this war, someone has to lose and someone has to win. And somehow I believe that all the sane people who love freedom, who love security, who love respect to human life, want Ukraine and its allies to win. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and join this democratic community. This is indeed important, and I cannot believe I'm living in these historic times. I do have this feeling, and I'm sure with the events unfolding in your countries, with all of these elections, you have to understand this responsibility. All of us are living in a very important historic period, and democracy has to win. Those of you who follow me understand I'm not at home. I'm in a beautiful wooden cabin in the woods of Volyn region, my native Volyn region on the lake Svites. You know I love it since childhood, those of you who follow me. And if you want to see more of the beautiful nature tomorrow, join me on Instagram. I will share that in stories. The link to my Instagram page is in the description. And also let me know, are you available this Sunday for our live? And what would you like to discuss? Leave your ideas and thoughts in the comments and let me know, are you free for this Sunday 9 p.m. Join me on Threads, X. We have a beautiful Discord community. Check our merch shop with lots of items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, and helping me film and write more. And thank you for your continued support. Congratulations to the new Prime Minister of Great Britain, and I hope he will continue the support that many of you beautiful people demonstrate. Thank you once again. Greetings to all the friends of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!